Have you? If there is anything we have done or said that you found unpalatable, that you found unacceptable, please find it in your heart to forgive me.
A day-long consultative forum with the leadership of our constitutional commissions and independent offices. This is pursuant to Executive Order number 1 of 2023 by President William Ruto, assigning my office the function of providing liaison and coordination among the constitutional commissions and independent offices to create efficiency and to support the commissions and the independent offices for effective delivery to the people of Kenya. We have had a very fruitful engagement and we have agreed that there is need for continuous engagement with the constitutional commissions and independent offices under my coordination so that we can sort out whatever issues that may hinder service delivery to the people of Kenya. We have agreed on a few things. One is that in the month of August, we'll have a retreat with all the commissions and the independent offices and members of the executive and the county governments so that we can dialogue on all issues that may be hindering service delivery, and that is what we have agreed we shall do. In the meantime, we have also agreed that it is not right, it is not prudent for constitutional commissions and independent offices to take each other to court because they all use money from the taxpayers, and it is a case of Kenyans funding and financing legal battles between commissions and independent offices serving the same people. So we are saying that at this forum will encourage dialogue and reaching out to build consensus on issues that may be bringing some conflict or misunderstanding. Again, we have agreed that we have two pending matters that we need to deal with this forum. There was a bit of a misunderstanding between the Inspector General of Police and the National Police Service Commission, and we have agreed within this framework the issues are neither here nor there. We'll have an opportunity to iron them out so that that commission and that independent office can serve our country better. Again, there are issues that have been brought to my office by the Parliamentary Service Commission with a view of asking us to engage the SRC to see whether we can get a common ground and understanding. And what we are saying in a nutshell is that these constitutional commissions and independent offices are very critical in service delivery, and therefore it is the intention of government to facilitate them and to make sure they are able to work seamlessly to serve the people of Kenya. I've taken time to assure the commissions and the independent offices that President William Ruto and his administration have no intention whatsoever to interfere with their functional and operational independence. Ours is to support their work by creating bridges where there are issues that are cross-cutting between government and parliament and other bodies. The President remains committed to empowering our independent institutions. You are aware, ladies and gentlemen of the press, that the President has demonstrated enough resolve so far on his stand that independent institutions need to be supported and empowered. You remember on the first day after being sworn in, he did appoint the judges of the Court of Appeal and the High Court, whose appointment had been declined without good reasons for over 3 years. The following day after being sworn in, he saw those judges, and today they are working for the people of Kenya. Again, you know he undertook to give financial autonomy to the Inspector General of Police so that he is able to work without any undue influence from any other authority, and that has already been done. Again, in supporting independent institutions, in this year's financial estimates, the ones that are before the National Assembly, the government has increased the judiciary fund from 18 billion shillings to 22 billion. That is again demonstrates the commitment of the Ruto administration to support independent institutions to serve the people better. It is the President's position, and we all share, those who work under him, that our legacy in this country will be to build strong institutions, because strong institutions serves a country better, and the people are the beneficiaries at the end of the process. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Sawa? Mko na maswali? Yes.
My name is Jeff Kirui from KTN News, and my question is regarding the National Police Service Commission. You've had an engagement with the independent constitutional officers. What then is the fate of those officers who were promoted by the Inspector General of Police after this consultation?
I've told you that we have agreed that we are going to have a framework to consult between the two offices and resolve whatever issues that are there. And I've told you that from what we have discussed, they are very simple and they will be solved to the satisfaction of everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Mushiri from NTV. My question is, these are constitutionally independent offices. Engagements with you and political engagements continue to ask, then their credibility, where does this lie as far as credibility of these independent offices when you have engagements with such?
That's a very good question. They are independent, yes, but they need money to operate. Where will they get it from? They must get some money from somewhere. The money is with me. It's with the national government. If they don't talk to me, how will they operate? They need to talk to somebody when they have a budgetary problem. All these commissions are independent, but they are interdependent. None of them can stand on its own. It's just like the three arms of government. They are interdependent. We meet somewhere along the line. But if you have a strategy how they can be independent and you can get them some money to operate without us, I think they'll be quite happy. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.
Let's allow His Excellency to proceed to the luncheon area where we will also join him. Thank you. Good afternoon.
In our work, this work we came 2 years ago, is challenging work. And in our zeal to work, in our commitment to work, probably in one way or another we have wronged somebody. I want to say to my brother President William Ruto, if in our zeal to work I have wronged you, please find it in your heart to forgive me. I want to say, if my spouse in our duties for the boy child and our program has wronged you in any way, find it in your heart to forgive her. To our members of parliament, if in the course of duty, through our utterances and actions, we have in one way or another upset you, all wronged you, find it in your heart to forgive me. If our brothers who did not support the president and myself in the way my region and the Rift Valley supported him, and probably you find that in appreciating our people and the support they give the president and I, probably our utterances made you feel uncomfortable. We did not mean bad. We were simply appreciating the people who voted for us. And if you feel that we rubbed you the wrong way, please find it in your heart to forgive me. to the people of Kenya in our service across the country as we serve you. If there is anything we have done or said that you found unpalatable, that you found unacceptable, please find it in your heart to forgive me.
A day-long consultative forum with the leadership of our constitutional commissions and independent offices. This is pursuant to Executive Order number 1 of 2023 by President William Ruto, assigning my office the function of providing liaison and coordination among the constitutional commissions and independent offices to create efficiency and to support the commissions and the independent offices for effective delivery to the people of Kenya. We have had a very fruitful engagement and we have agreed that there is need for continuous engagement with the constitutional commissions and independent offices under my coordination so that we can sort out whatever issues that may hinder service delivery to the people of Kenya. We have agreed on a few things. One is that in the month of August, we'll have a retreat with all the commissions and the independent offices and members of the executive and the county governments so that we can dialogue on all issues that may be hindering service delivery, and that is what we have agreed we shall do. In the meantime, we have also agreed that it is not right, it is not prudent for constitutional commissions and independent offices to take each other to court because they all use money from the taxpayers, and it is a case of Kenyans funding and financing legal battles between commissions and independent offices serving the same people. So we are saying that at this forum will encourage dialogue and reaching out to build consensus on issues that may be bringing some conflict or misunderstanding. Again, we have agreed that we have 2 pending matters that we need to deal with this forum. There was a bit of misunderstanding between the Inspector General of Police and the National Police Service Commission, and we have agreed within this framework the issues are neither here nor there. We'll have an opportunity to iron them out so that that commission and that independent office can serve our country better. Again, there are issues that have been brought to my office by the Parliamentary Service Commission with a view of asking us to engage the SRC to see whether we can get a common ground and understanding. And what we are saying in a nutshell is that these constitutional commissions and independent offices are very critical in service delivery, and therefore it is the intention of government to facilitate them and to make sure they are able to work seamlessly to serve the people of Kenya. I have taken time to assure the commissions and the independent offices that President William Ruto and his administration have no intention whatsoever to interfere with their functional and operational independence. Ours is to support their work by creating bridges where there are issues that are cross-cutting between government and parliament and other bodies. The President remains committed to empowering our independent institutions. You are aware, ladies and gentlemen of the press, that the President has demonstrated enough resolve so far on his stand that independent institutions need to be supported and empowered. You remember on the first day after being sworn in, he did appoint the judges of the Court of Appeal and the High Court, whose appointment had been declined without good reasons for over 3 years. The following day after being sworn in, he saw those judges and today they are working for the people of Kenya. Again, you know he undertook to give financial autonomy to the Inspector General of Police so that he is able to work without any undue influence from any other authority, and that has already been done. Again, in supporting independent institutions, in this year's financial estimate,
I have been invited to appear in Parliament in the National Assembly tomorrow at 5 p.m. I want to call on members, Speaker, Kenya, but other than myself, at that time, I prosecuted my defense for 2 hours, and enough to allow me to respond in silence. However, considered that I'm elected by the people of Kenya directly. On 9th of August 2022, Kenyans woke up early to go and vote in their president and deputy president. And out of the millions of Kenyans who turned up, 7.2 million Kenyans decided willingly that Dr. William Ruto should be elected as president and Rigathi Gachagua as elected president. I think it's fair when members of parliament decide that they want to move the deputy president from office as deputy president, hear his side of the story. I think it's very fair. And I thought it's also respectful to the voters to have the first opportunity to hear from me before the honorable members, because they are the ones who elected me to office. Article 1 of the Kenya Constitution says that the power, the sovereignty of this great nation rests with the people. In Parliament, that is the National Assembly and the Senate, enjoy the delegated authority from the people. It is therefore very important that the people who elected me as deputy president get my response of the very outrageous accusations against their deputy president that have no basis, that is sheer propaganda, that is a scheme to hold me out of office because of other political considerations, and has nothing to do with violation of the Constitution. It has nothing to do with gross misconduct, and it has absolutely nothing to do with committing international or national crimes. The people of Kenya are therefore entitled by right to hear from their deputy president what is his response to those outrageous allegations. Again, an attempt to do a public participation in a very short exercise that was done. My response was not part of what was presented to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya were being asked to give their views as to whether the deputy president should be impeached from office, and the accusations were attached, but in a highly legalistic language beyond the comprehension of many Kenyans. But the response of the deputy president was not there to enable them make an informed decision by listening to the charges against him and listening to his response. Because the rules of natural justice demand that no man should be condemned unheard. My lawyers will be vigorously challenging that public participation as a nullity, and that does not meet the threshold of public participation as expounded by the Supreme Court of Kenya during the celebrated case of Governor Peter Wabora. The motion alleges that 2 years since assuming office, Rigathi Gachagua has acquired property and wealth whose estimated value is 5.2 billion, despite his known income by way of employment is 24 million. This is extremely outrageous. Honorable Mutuse goes ahead to give properties that he alleges are owned by one Rigathi Gachagua. I trust he was just given a document to sign. Had he taken some bit of time to do some research, he would not embarrass himself and the National Assembly. James Derito Gachagua was the governor of Nyeri and died in London on the 24th of February 2017 And yours truly, Rigathi Gachagua, was by his bedside. Prior to his death, 3 or 4 weeks before, in privacy, he wrote his will and appointed Rigathi Gachagua as an executor of that will, jointly with Mwai Madenge, his close time buddy, who is a quantity surveyor, and celebrated lawyer Njoroge Regeru. The three of us were tasked to manage his estate. In the will, you'll be given a copy. He did put his properties and assets and cash and anything that he owned in his world. And among the things that he did put was the Olive Garden Hotel, Baringo Beach Resort, the Queen's Gate apartment, and Langata high-rise flats. It is these 4 properties that the Honorable Mutuse alleges in the National Assembly that Rigathi Gachagua has acquired them after becoming Deputy President in 2022 when Rigathi Gachagua died in 2017. It is the most embarrassing allegation a member of parliament can table before the National Assembly. Those properties were constructed and were in operation when the late Gachagua was alive. I take this opportunity to ask for forgiveness to my late brother, James Rigathi Gachagua, that today, as your younger brother defends himself, he'll defile your privacy by distributing your will that you wrote in privacy. That your properties that you worked so hard for many years to benefit your wives and children are now a subject of discussion and are alleged to be proceeds of corruption. How unfair, how cruel can you be to a dead man? A man who worked so hard, a man who gave his life for his family, to buy plots, to construct property, and leave them in his death for his children and his brothers and sisters. And then you go to the floor of the House and allege that those properties are production of corruption. My dear brother, rest in peace and forgive me for having joined politics. Because were it not for politics, you would not suffer this shame. Your children are crestfallen as they see their properties being splashed in newspapers as proceeds of crime. The Olive Garden Hotel that is alleged to have been bought by Rigathi Gachagua belongs to the estate of the late James Rigathi Gachagua. And in his will, he directed that we sell all his properties and divide the proceeds among his brothers, sisters, wives, and children. We, as the executors of his estate, and I want to pay tribute to lawyer Njoroge Regeru and Mwai Madenge for their commitment and sacrifice to the Gachagua family. Many executors who have been given properties to run by deceased people end up misusing them and depriving the beneficiaries. These 2 great men and myself, because my brother knew I'm an honest man and a fair person, and he knew his family would never suffer in my hands. We were able to sell Olive Garden Hotel at 412 million and distributed the proceeds to the beneficiaries as directed in his will. We registered his will in the High Court of Kenya and were given the probate. And my late brother, in his wisdom, left Rigathi Gachagua 5% of his wealth. I was therefore able to get 20 million shillings from this sale. That is money that is in my account, that again I'm told they are proceeds of crime. He left my mother 5% of his wealth, another 20 million shillings. And since my mother is dead, my late brother, because he trusted me, had put in his will that I hold my mother's shares in trust. So that is another 20 million shillings in my account. Again, my late brother left me another 4% hold in trust of the children who is deceased, the late Dr. Friend Rigathi Gachagua, whose children are in South Africa. And another 16 million shillings was put in my account. My late brother gave 2% to my wife, Pastor Dorcas, because of her kindness of looking after him when he was ill. All this money that has come to me from a dead brother, I'm being told are proceeds of crime. Queen's Gate Service Apartments, another property belonging to the late Gachagua, is another property that I'm told I've bought as when I'm deputy president. That is why I have 5.2 billion worth of money. And this property, again, we sold the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, the staff retirement benefits for nearly 600 million. And this money we utilized to pay his debts. And today, as the late Gachagua rests in heaven, he has no debt. Again, I want to thank my fellow executors, Njoroge Regeru and Maimatenge, for what you have done for my brother. Vipingo Beach Resort in Kilifi was Gachagua's holiday home, a beautiful palatial resort on belongs to the estate of the deceased. because ourselves have a family, million shillings every month. They afford to buy 2 acres of land. And I take this opportunity. Anytime I've gone to the Rift Valley, in appreciation of the support I give, gives me a cow or 2. And within 2 years, I have the largest dairy farm in Madeira of the Kalenjin people. I want to thank them for their kindness. An accusation that I've bought 40 acres of land in Kakuret, Kabraine, in Kenya, Nyeri constituency, as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. I, for Kenya, the notice of motion to impeach me on the allegations, this one being among them. Had there been no malice, Njoroge Wainaina, the Honorable MP for Kenya, would have advised the Honorable Mutuse that he sold me this land in the year 2015. I have a sale agreement I'll give you with this picture. I bought this land from the Honorable Njoroge Wainaina in 2015. I was not even a member of parliament. Yet he has appended a signature that I should be impeached and go home for having corruptly bought 40 acres of land in Kakuret. In fact, the land is not 40 acres, actually 35. The allegation is that it's 40 acres, but that land is 35 acres. The people of Kakuret know it. We'll give you documents. That I have bought from a loan that I have taken as a member of Solution Circle in Meru, the land of my mother, and which I call home. I have seen an allegation that I have a dairy farm in Nyandarua. I don't have a single animal in Nyandarua. I have some little land in a place called Shamata, but I'm yet to do anything about it. I think I just mentioned it to one of the member of parliament for that area called Gachagua that I would like to start a dairy farm. And I think in those rumors in parliament, the Honorable Mutuse went ahead to say that I own a dairy farm in Nyandarua. I own no such farm today, but God willing, because of the good climate in Daragwa, in Shamata, one day, God willing, I'll have a huge. I have seen companies listed just to create an impression that Rigathi Gachagua is doing business. I want the people of Kenya to know that Rigathi Gachagua was a businessman before he became a politician. And he had a life, and that life is part of his history. So getting companies 15 years ago, 13 years ago, 10 years ago, and publishing them. I left university in 1989. I left for the private sector for another 15 years. In those 15 years, I was a very astute businessman. And luckily for me, maybe of you are not that lucky. It was during the Kibaki era when things were working. The economy was strong, business environment was right, and there was room to make money. And I made money at that time. Those are old companies, and they are not trading. And when I became my children,
And I told them to continue doing business and not to do business with the government because I don't want conflict of interest. I want to confirm to the people of Kenya tonight that no company owned by Honorable Mutuse or anybody else linking the Gachagua, the Rigathi family with business deals with the Kenya government. I agreed with my children that they do business with the private sector, that I bequeath. And just for clarity, because I don't think they are worth a reply, because there's nothing about them. Rigathi Gachagua Foundation. As a member of parliament, I was educating orphans, I was educating, continue doing the work of charity. I have seen my foundation here. The Honorable Mutuse has not said what crime the Deputy President has done by having a foundation that is non-profit making. For the purposes of clarity, I'll give you the bank statement for this foundation. I have only received a total of 12 million shillings from well-wishers, which have educated children, have educated students at Pwani University, and other vulnerable people. Dorcas Rigathi Gachagua Foundation, this is just an attempt to bring my family into mud. Every Kenyan knows the work Dorcas Rigathi has done in this country for the boy child. She has opened clinics for addicted children, and she gets a lot of money in her foundation. Since a decision was made that the government will not fund the office of the spouse of the Deputy President, Kenyans of goodwill flock to her every day with cash donations, with material donations, for her to continue with a very good program she's doing of rehabilitation in Mombasa, in Nyandarua, in Laikipia, in Nairobi, and her work is well documented. I am here to see from the mover's motion what crime got nothing. Spiritway Limited is a company registered by Dorcas Rigathi that does work with the church ministries. This ministry has not traded does not even have a bank account. Is some strong women of God who have come together to preach the gospel. The mover of this motion has not indicated Creed International Limited, as the name suggests, is a company founded by my wife in again on evangelism and activities to do with the Church of Christ. I have not seen us against this company. Mothers of the Lord Limited. Again, this is a company incorporated by my wife, Pastor Dorcas, in 2021 with our friends. It has never traded. It does not even have a bank account. The Anani Collective. This is a business name registered by my son, Dr. Keith Rigathi, in 2021 before I came into office. The ideas he had, they have not yet to fruition. So the company is dormant. I am here to see a single purpose
Apartments Limited put together to manage Langata View Apartments. The late Gachagua left 80 apartments for his children in Langata and asked us to sell and the proceeds to the wives, the children, and the brothers in a formula that he gave. In a family meeting that I chaired, we agreed as a family that we should not sell the flats. We should share them so that everybody can be getting a rental income. Yes, he gave to me, I have 10 flats. His daughter has 10, his wife has 5, another one has 2, another has 1. So we did put this company together called Grad Bypass Apartments Limited. This is a company that will be managing the estate of the late Gachagua. Again, this company has been put here by the Honorable Mutuse as a company set to manage flats belonging to a dead good man, future of his children. And in his death, he is being haunted. Annulment has been made to this administration. He is a spent cartridge. His work was to help fight Uhuru Kenyatta and get President William Ruto to power. And thereafter, he is of no use. So he should be dispensed with, and somebody else can be appointed. Again, it's the will of the Kenyan people. That is the viciousness that we are even fighting the dead. How insensitive can we be? What is this power thing? That you even fight the dead for you to entrench yourself in power and get rid of your perceived political enemies. I appeal to the people of Kenya to have respect for the dead, if nothing else. People may have money, they may have power, they may have everything, but they must remember that it is very respectful to respect the dead. Please, stop haunting my late brother. Don't put him. He committed no and leaving an inheritance for his children and entrusting his brother, Rigathi Gachagua, to look after that property. Fortis Viz Group Limited is a company incorporated in 2023 by my son, Kevin. This company has not even taken off. They are still figuring out. They have to come here every day to keep me company and find out what is not happening. This company has not even started. These are young people, children. Why do you want to destroy their father? These are innocent boys who have decided to invest in their own country. Why do you want to destroy them? You can destroy Rigathi Gachagua, fair enough. He has lived for 59 years. But these boys, 130 years. Why? to destroy them. Pioneer Medical Company Group why are you bringing it to Parliament? At the roundabout at Bomas on your way to Rongai. And we built this company from scratch. And it's been in existence for years. And when we stopped trading with it, we put up apartments in Kroi, in Rongai, called Rido Plaza, that are managed by this company. We collect rent. We have, I think, 40, 50. We pay tax every month. What wrong has Rido Furniture Mart done? Rido Plaza was 12 and make sure he's totally destroyed. Why don't you pursue him for the 2 years he has been in office? Why do you want to go back 20 years before he became deputy president and criminalize his enterprise and his hard work? BioVet Kenya Limited is a company, again, I founded in 2009. Many years before I even went to Parliament. It has not done business for the last 15 years. Not a single shred of evidence that this company has done wrong. It's not there. Murani Manufacturers Limited. It's a company that is founded by a character from our village and sold some shares to my wife and my children. This company has never traded in government. It has not done any business. It is actually dormant. I'm told the account has only have some shares in a company that has 132,000 shillings. It has not done business for 15 years. We demand that you say what this company has done. Wamunyoro Investments Limited is a company named after my village in Wamunyoro, which I founded in the year 2001 as a construction company. This company owns a lot of property that I bought in those years when the economy of this country was on sound footing. Since I was of this company with anybody, the company is dormant, but it owns property. Those properties were bought and acquired long before I became deputy president. Cosmea Venture Limited is a company that was incorporated in 2018 before I became deputy president by my sons. They do what you call bulk SMS. I used to give them work when I was member of parliament to send messages to my constituents. I think they were charging me 30 cents per SMS. Some young, enterprising young people. Company 2018, it doesn't do business with government. It is not accused of any wrongdoing by anybody, anywhere. It's just name there. Royal Crimson Ventures operated in 2018 by my children to do their little business. No allegation of any wrongdoing. Annexed to the motion. Cruito Properties Limited, again, the Vipingo Hotel. no details of any accusation, any wrongdoing, nothing. Crystal Kenya Limited, this company, I gave out my shares to and myself and my wife, we got out and asked them to continue doing business. My two children, like their father, very enterprising. Nyeri County, where I come from, we were hit badly by COVID, and all our hotels shut down. Hundreds of jobs were lost. Many people who were supplying to those hotels shut down. The two hotel was for sale, and my children were in. It's a government. And the person who owned Outspan Hotel had also leased the Treetops Hotel. Got an assignment of the lease, so they don't own Treetops Hotel. AWS to Aberdare Safari, then an easement to Crystal Kenya. That they are not part of to defend them. They are grown-ups. They should defend themselves, but they don't have the forum. They went to a bank and borrowed 600 million. The documents are there. And bought a hotel and bought the lease. And I publicly announced that my family has acquired the two hotels because there was nothing to hide. I saw no need to advise my children, like other people do, to buy the properties through proxy because this was trade business. They went and borrowed 600 million from the bank. And they were given 1 year moratorium, which is not over, to do the renovations and all that and open the facility. But I want to thank my son, Dr. Keith Rigathi. He worked very hard. And I think last month or so, I was at the Treetops with the British High Commissioner to open the Treetops. It's important to the people of Nyeri and the system. It is in the Treetops Hotel that Princess Elizabeth slept. And when that facility was shut down, it was very devastating to the people of Nyeri and the Aberdare ecosystem. So when the people of Nyeri heard that the son of the deputy president is interested in leasing that facility from KWS and reopen it, there was joy and ululation in the Aberdares. Since this hotel opened, 45 Kenyans are back to work. The vegetables to that hotel. The local butchers are supplying me to that hotel. Come every weekend to entertain the tourists. The tourism circuit of the Aberdare is back. Are now being demonized as crooks, as criminals, who should not invest in their own motherland because the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya spends a lot of time in one of his functions that he has been given by the President to coordinate development partners and look for investors. Why should the Deputy President go to look for foreign investors when his own children can invest at home? Children of many other people I know hide their money in Dubai and Cayman Islands. They don't want to invest here. What crime have the children of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya committed by borrowing money from a bank? This didn't invest in our own country. And if we dare to invest, we should. Are we criminals by virtue of being a children? That's a question my children are asking me. What crime can children of Kenya commit? Borrow money from a bank and start an enterprise and employ people. How unfair can a country be to its young population to condemn them